Morning, everyone. And it is morning, isn't it? 10 past 8. I haven't been up at this time for a long time. So, my name is Paul Rowe. I'm the EMEA Channel Sales Manager here at UCi2i. UCi2i is best described as a vendor. That means we have a capability which we don't sell direct, but instead we filter through a very select network of highly valued partners, of which Digicom are one. Now, to describe Digicom as a partner doesn't do them justice. Globally, we are a global company. Digicom are in the top 4, so we're very proud to be part of their organisation. To put that in context, this is the first time I've done an event for end users of a partner, so that says a lot more about them. A lot of investment, time and effort goes into this to bring information to you. So thank you to Digicom. Now, the capability that we have, as has already been mentioned, is that of video conferencing. Video conferencing, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, the term meant something very specific. It was very clear, everybody knew what it meant. Now, however, those words have changed, they've grown, enlarged in all sorts of different directions, and consequently, the term video conferencing has been diluted. My hope today is to bring some clarity around what has become pretty murky waters in that respect. Let me start then by outlining a traditional video conferencing solution. First of all, you have your personal and instant video conferencing. This is what I would call point-to-point, where I call you. Next up, you have your multi-point of collaboration. This is where I call you, you and you from a bigger meeting room. That capability may overflow to the shop floor via a software-driven desktop video conferencing. Then next up on this hit parade come the beasts of video, the immersive, the 3-screen arrays, incredible bits of kit, incredible on 2 counts actually, the experience and also the price tag. They start at roughly $250,000 and you have to buy them in pairs. The world's local bank, as they call themselves, are rumoured to have about 90 of those systems. However, more significantly though, is the ability to mobilise that capability, and now you're engaging people who are working from home, who are remote or on the move, agile workers. Gartner tell us that the next 10 years will see 60% of people working from home. It's a staggering number. Video makes sense of that. So far, though, we've described an internal estate where a company communicates only with itself. So the next key then is to go further to call another business. So a slightly different challenge on that one. So, all of that capability is funded by an array of equipment that ends up in air-conditioned rooms, in a server room somewhere, which collectively is referred to as infrastructure. If you thought the first part was expensive, wait until you get a quote for these bits of kit. They are not big numbers, they are telephone numbers. Multi-point capacity is simply a decision to say, right, we have 100 people here, we would like 10 people to be able to make calls at once on a bridge. That would cost you roughly $100,000. Then content recorders, network infrastructure, connectivity, security, call control, just the ability to route a call through your network, $40,000 part code. To do that on the other side of your network to go business to business, well, there's another $40,000. Once you get the licensing sorted out, you can probably add that again. So like I say, very expensive thing to do, and all of that before you've ordered it, unboxed it, plugged it in, got it working, and thought about how you're going to keep it going. And now you can add people to that scenario. So there we go, that's the full video conferencing solution. It has been done like that for many years for a very good reason. And the paradigm is this: video brings nightmares to networks. Doing it right passes those nightmares onto finance. That's the reality of it. The more you look into video, the closer you'll get to that type of solution because it does have a health warning. However, like I say, that's the black and white version of video conferencing. That's what it meant and it was undisputed a couple of years ago. Today, however, it's not black and white. The full colour spectrum has been introduced now. On the far left, you've got Skype, FaceTime, Google Hangouts. On the far right, you've got what we've just looked at, that traditional solution. And in the middle is a new space that's emerged, which can be described as video conferencing managed service. That's where UCi2i come in. Suddenly, all of that pain is replaced with a monthly, no setup charges, management contract. A managed service, by definition, is the ability to buy much more than you would otherwise spend for much less than it actually costs. That's why you buy a managed service. However, the video conferencing managed service, those are the words that people will use to describe us. I don't like them, personally, because there is a huge amount of definition behind even those words. So when people ask me what UCi2i is, this is my answer. We are enterprise-level video conferencing capability, funded by scale-proof capacity, which is measured, monitored, supported, deployed, the whole experience enhanced by a wealth of expertise both front of house and behind the scenes. Okay, so it's not a catchy answer, but it is a solid answer. To describe UCi2i as a video conferencing managed service is to describe Harrods as a corner shop. Harrods is a shop. It is clearly on a corner. It's not an incorrect statement, but it's not accurate, and same as it is for UCi2i. So let me explain that. The problem with a video call, when you're talking about videos, everybody knows what's going to happen. Call is established, I can see you, you can see me. But it's the space in between that makes all the difference in the world. And this is where UCi2i have really gone to town. I need to now introduce Level 3. Many of you may have heard of Level 3. Our founder, Michael Grant, he was one of the lead architects that put this network together, and that's what it is. In 1998, they launched under the colloquial banner, the highest funded startup ever. Their opening balance on day one of business was $14 billion. With that, they built the world's biggest network, which today is 100,000 miles of tunnels, carrying 765,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable, connected up by 450 data centers around the globe on a single, private, secure, 128-bit AES encrypted network. So that sounds impressive. What does that mean to you and me? Well, if you think about a web conferencing call, and that's the distinction here, a web conferencing call like Skype, the number of destinations it needs to make across the internet to swap data in real time, 20, 30, actually we don't know, but you hear people say things like, the internet is having a good day, which of course means nothing at all. With UCi2i, make a call through that network, the average number of destinations you're going to make is 2. And that makes all the difference in the world. If that wasn't enough, on top of all of that network capability that carries the call, we've got 2 data centers, each holding $4.3 million each of that infrastructure we looked at. So we've dressed very well to be able to service these calls. And why have we done all of that? Because quality is king. It has to be. If you want video on your network, the very next stop on that line is quality. Think about YouTube. If the bandwidth suffers, YouTube buffers. It holds on to network data before it can play you a meaningful clip. You can't do that with a video call. If you lose my packets, you also lose my meaning. It's very important indeed. This is a screenshot from my own laptop using a software client. What we're looking at there is I'm on a guest wireless network in London. I'm dialing out at 384 kilobytes. That's just over a third of a meg. That's all it took for me to achieve this quality. Why? Because I hit that network quickly because of its size, and there's $8.6 million worth of infrastructure that's processing that. So the only point of weakness now is your outgoing broadband. That's it. If you got that right, it will work, and you'll have a very good experience doing it. The cameras you can see there, the one on the bottom left is actually of the Beckham Academy. It's taken from our office. Our office is overlooking the O2, which you can see in the next image. But the Beckham Academy image there is a 10-year-old Polycom, making the point that we can deal with legacy equipment. Doesn't matter, we're vendor agnostic. Whatever you've got, we can plug that onto our network, we can give you a managed service for your video, and it becomes very, very simple to use. And don't forget now, it's mobilized. Mobilize that capability. I can use this from home. I had a 2-hour call last night from my hotel room. No problem at all. We're looking at data share here as well, but you can see that in that screenshot, that is a mixed economy of software clients. So Sabrina there is our third-line technical support. She's using a software client, so am I. And you can see the selfie that I've got on there. There's a camera in the background. That's looking at me in the bottom right-hand screen. So that's what we're looking at. That screenshot, by the way, would be described as our exec package. Let me give you an idea of what that would cost an end user now. It's about 250 euros a month. And that's essentially what you're going to get as a very minimum for that sort of money. I had the experience of going on one of our competitors recently, and this is what I got. I've blocked out, the blue box there is me hiding their logo. I don't want to trash talk. I want to make the very, very real point that there is no call control going on there. There's nothing in the middle. Winston Churchill said that truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. There it is. The difference between that and that, about $10 million. Video comes with a health warning. Do it right and you'll have a fantastic experience. Do it wrong and you buy cheap, buy twice, as they say. Here's another picture from a screenshot. This was Monday morning, a conference call, and suddenly you can see my selfie again on the top right there. That suddenly shows up as the weakest image. That's giving me a pure camera image. That's not out in the ether. That's just my own camera returning the image. Look at the quality of the others. Sabrina again on a software client. The rest of them are boardrooms, and there's that Beckham Academy picture again with the 10-year-old Polycom. So this is it, and they order straight away. By the way, the people in that picture, a company called Tony G and Partners, they're now customers of ours. They bought a 10-seat meeting room from us. That's the other thing with UCi2i, you buy what you need. You buy in at the level that meets your requirements. I often say to people, who among us, when we go shopping for a mobile phone, also go shopping for a satellite? We don't do that. We buy into a much larger organisation and go quietly about our day. And that's what UCi2i now offer in terms of video. This is our sales call. We have this every morning, every Monday morning. It's a 2-hour call. There's people in Hong Kong there. The 3 solo people are all software clients. The 2 boardrooms are boardrooms. And again, we're looking at data share. It becomes very meaningful. And in fact, if any of you have got sales directors in your organisations, tell them about this, because sales directors typically don't have access to video. It's often reserved for the C-level execs and the boardrooms. And what we're doing with UCi2i is opening it up to a whole new client base, because you can now. And it's mobilised, it's virtualised, software clients. We even have guest access via a web browser. You can invite somebody onto a secure call with a link from an email. They click it and the browser opens up in the email itself. It's so powerful. And there's our Movember VMR. So some of our guys were growing muscoshes for November. And there it is. Michael Grant's the one in the bottom left. It looks a bit like Yosemite Sam to me. But there we go. That's what you get. Essentially, it's about quality and no startup costs and making sense of any legacy equipment that you might have. Any questions, come back to me afterwards. Be delighted to go further. But that's me done. Thanks very much.